And we are back. Another edition of How About Them Celtics Talking C's with Bobby Kravitsky of SI Media Group. Bobby, how are you doing today?
Doing fantastic down here in beautiful Florida, ready for tonight's Celtics Heat game, rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals. We shall see what happened after Boston held serve on its home floor in its home opener, the first matchup between these two this season. So we'll see how round two goes tonight.
How's the weather down there? Better than up here?
Well, put it this way. When I flew out of Boston, it was snowing, or there's at least snow on the ground. And when I arrived here, it was almost 80 degrees.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll
do it.
Been nothing but shorts since getting here.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, I'm a fan of the colder weather, so I have no problem with it. But I know that's an unpopular opinion, so I'll stick to my lane, I suppose.
Said it before, I'll say it again. Cold weather means Celtics wrong.
That's true. At least in the Northeast.
Can you have a normal opinion about anything? Is that possible?
All my opinions are like me-based. That's kind of how my mind works.
Yeah, he's in his own environment.
Well,
you got to
only child, dude. I don't know what you want.
That's how Sam wins.
That's not even what I meant. You can have a me-based opinion, but like, can you just have an opinion on the weather itself? Like,
he did.
Well,
not on the weather itself, but he had a weather-related opinion. Seltzer.
Well, if anything, like that's a nice positive spin for you. Like usually I'm pretty miserable, negative, but like people don't like cold weather. Well, bright side, Celtics.
I could ask Sam, hey Sam, what do you think of Captain Crunch? He'd go, well,
I want to hear him answer. Put a spin on it.
My answer or his answer?
No, I want to hear him try and spin.
Okay, go ahead. What do you think of Captain Crunch, Sam?
I don't have a strong opinion on Captain Crunch, but when I think of Captain Crunch, the only thing I think of is my friend Ray. And every time I'll like go to his house, like he used to have, like he has like every cereal imaginable, like just so he can like take years off his life. But I will like fill the bowl to the brim and have like a bowl if I go over there, just to do it.
Fist pump on my part. I thought you were going to end up getting to Ray Allen and the Celtics from there.
No!
I was waiting for this. I was waiting for. See, when I think of Captain Crunch, I think of spring '92, and then in that year it was this. I was waiting for this.
That's my staple breakfast the morning of
before I entered the world.
Yeah,
wasn't here
All
yet.
Right. Anyways, let's talk Celtics. More specifically, a former Celtic, Terry Rozier, joined the Heat. Celtics are taking on the Heat tonight as we're talking about this. Heat are going to be on the second night of a back-to-back. Terry made his debut for Miami last night as you guys are listening to this. Heat fell to who they played? The Memphis Grizzlies, who have been weirdly okay since losing their whole team, which is weird, but Vince Williams has been a revelation. Gigi Jackson has been awesome off the bench, which shout out to us because we kind of did a video on him in the summer. We're kind of sick. And then Terry Rozier was pretty bad. He was team worst, minus 13, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, but shot 3 of 11, 1 of 5 from the field. So, 1, Bobby, what do you think of the Heat's trade for Terry Rozier? And 2, what are you looking for in the Celtics Heat matchup tonight?
Okay, so 1, I love the move for Miami. It's the player profile they were targeting when they were trying to bring Damian Lillard to South Beach. And so they get that scoring guard that not only were they looking for, but they needed. And with Jimmy and Bam being unselfish offensive players, what happens is Terry Rozier will get his opportunities to cook, and he's a really good secondary creator for his teammates. So when he's off the ball, that's when he tends to be his best as a facilitator. So they're getting a player who is averaging 23.2 points, 6.6 assists, 3.9 rebounds, and 1.2 steals, by the way. So he's definitely better than Lillard defensively, while not saying that he's in line for an all-NBA defensive selection here. Nonetheless, still less vulnerable at that end of the floor. Offensively, they get someone who, like I said, can create for his teammates, especially when he's off the ball. He's a respectable three-point shooter, knocking down nearly 36% at almost 8 attempts per game. So he's going to have to adjust to a lower volume and a winning structure, but I think he fits the Heat culture. It's an offense that, entering last night's loss to the Grizzlies at home, by the way, ranked 26 in points per game. Now they get someone who, what he does best is put the ball through the basket. So I think it's a good fit. It fills a need, and they didn't have to spend nearly as much as they would have to get Lillard.
Yeah, to your point about the scoring, last year Miami was a terrible offensive team too. It was one of the things that hung over their heads before the trade deadline when they eventually kind of stood pat. like last year, Lowry was a huge talking point. It's like, are they finally going to move off him and his big contract? And the answer was no. Even in the postseason, right? Like you finally got Jimmy to like play like Jimmy. A lot of their wins, specifically against the Celtics, were in lower scoring games. Like it was because they held the Celtics. They played defense. They clamped down on them and made things difficult. And you see that a lot with the Celtics this year when they lose games, they're not scoring a lot. They picked out Boston's weakness and it just happened to be playing into their own strengths, and they end up winning the series. Now they add a little bit more offensive firepower, makes them less fun to play for sure. I also think they kind of just got them for free, which I don't love. Kind of hate that. Sick of teams getting free guys. Usually it's the Lakers. This time it was the Heat. They get off that terrible Lowry contract, and instead they bring in somebody like Rozier that can help them with the scoring. He's in a, 28, 29-year-old season. Like he's not old. He's still in his peak, and he's going to be able to be durable on both ends of the ball. Like he has the athleticism to play defense. When he was with the Celtics, he was an okay defender. Bobby mentioned his steal count. That's a bonus too. And he's just somebody that can kind of fit, whether you need him to be one of the top scorers or take a little bit of a backseat. He's not going to love it, but with the Celtics, he did it, and it worked well. So good addition for them. Too bad he was free.
See, I think it's a fine trade for them. Like y'all both said, it's not like they had to give up much to get him.
They gave him
Like
nothing.
We'll see what the pick turns into.
First, yeah, they have Kyle Lowry in a pick, and I think more importantly, they have Kyle Lowry in a pick, and they also gave up likely their ability to make another big move. Like this was the big move. This was the Lowry trade. This is what they use that salary for. And for what it's worth, yes, Terry Rozier is a fine player. I feel like I'm not as high on the deal as a lot of other people are. Like he's good, but is he, like, after all the Dame talk, after all the Beal talk, after all the we're getting this guy, this is what ends up happening. He's not like the most consistent scorer. Like you look at, like, he'll shoot 60%, then 30%, then 50%, then 40%, then 41, then 46, then 50. Like it kind of varies what kind of night he has, and it'll be fine in Miami where his role will be a lot different. Like he's not going to be taking 25 shots, 15 shots, 26 shots, 30 shots. Like it's going to be different than his workload in Charlotte. But I don't know. Everyone calls him this Heat culture guy. He's perfect in that system. I feel like I don't know if he will be. I feel like he could get to I want Terry Rozier to score the ball. Just give Terry the ball. Terry's gonna make it work. So I'm curious. I'd like to be proven wrong, but I'm more hesitant, I suppose, to be all in on the Terry Rozier to Miami train than a lot of other people are. And Eric Spoelstra works his magic. That's the one thing in this world I will never doubt. But I don't know. I'm iffy on it, I suppose. It's weird, but anyways, Terry in Miami. Yes.
Sorry. I wasn't sure if Bobby wanted to say anything. But about the shooting percentages, right? Coming off those many, many games with Charlotte, obviously he was there for a while. But this season in particular, one, LaMelo was hurt for a lot of this season for Charlotte. I think he just came back. Terry Rozier is seeing like the focal attention of the defense. He's not going to get that kind of treatment with the Heat unless he's on an absolute heater. They still have to pay attention to Jimmy. They have to pay attention to Hero. They have to send their big guys at Bam. He's no joke underneath the basket. He's going to be like a tertiary option for the Heat or secondary, but he's not going to be the first option. And if he is, he's on a heater. That's going to make everything he does so much easier. It's like a lot of these guys that come to the Celtics. Porzingis gets here. All of a sudden, he's super efficient because he's taking shots only from his spots because he doesn't have to create every single shot. Somebody like Derek White has thrived in efficiency because he's not being asked to do more than he's supposed to be able to do. Drew Holiday is taking a step back in terms of output, but his efficiency is high because they're just asking him to convert in easy situations. You're going to see a little bit of that from Rozier. I'm not saying it's going to be like joining the Celtics and joining a team of almost 5 All-Stars, but Miami's no slouch. Their offense isn't great, but they still have superstar options, especially guys that can score the ball. So he's going to have a little bit less responsibility than they would have on a Hornets team.
And I look at some of the backcourts defensively among the top teams in the East, and there's some legitimate concerns defensively. The Knicks with Jalen Brunson. I know that Maxi's getting better, but that Philly backcourt is not the most balanced in terms of offensive impact and what they do at the other end. And Milwaukee, I think they're going to make a trade, but as currently constructed, at least, not a great day for them to see Rozier go to Miami. It's a team that's given you trouble to begin with, and now they have someone who makes it that much easier. to punish Damian Lillard in particular in the pick and roll. So I don't think that some of these top teams in the East are loving this. And I also think that Rozier in a lesser role, while some of his numbers and maybe his efficiency drop off, I also think that it could lead to him exerting more of himself defensively.
We'll see. I could be wrong.
I completely agree with that second point, because are you really going to break your back playing defense for the Charlotte Hornets when you're losing every game? If you're Terry Rozier, I don't think so.
And not playing for a contract
Miami,
either.
The Heat culture thing is a big time storyline in this. He keeps talking about it, like you guys mentioned, but I can see him for sure digging his heels in and playing a little bit of extra defense, something you didn't see from him in Charlotte.
We'll see what happens. I could be wrong. All I'm saying is last time Terry Rozier wasn't in Charlotte, when he was in Boston, he didn't shoot above 40% from the field. So
that's because he was maybe I have to back up Kyrie. I should be starting.
Yeah, I'm saying I wonder if that takes over in Miami after he's been the guy in Charlotte for 4 years.
He's older, and he knows he's coming somewhere where it's very clear whose team it is.
You also don't know what you got till it's gone. The man went and he rotted in Charlotte for 4 years. He's like, okay, I'll stop. I'll behave.
We'll see. We'll see what he decides to do. But next thing, we got another former Celtic, Doc Rivers, also joining the Eastern Conference again, signing a deal to become the new head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks after they unexpectedly fired Adrian Griffin the other day. We've obviously talked about it on our pod. Bobby, curious to know your thoughts as well. Reports have indicated he is signing how long was the deal that he was signing?
2027.
Yeah. Long-term deal.
27. That's a lot of money on the books for coaches, by the way.
Doc is back.
Mm-hmm.
Still paying Budenholzer, obviously Griffin, and now Doc to a long-term deal. I'm surprised it ended up being so long, but at the same time, I guess I'm not, because of the leverage that Rivers had and the desperation on Milwaukee's side. Credit to them. They're spending. They're doing everything they can to not only keep Giannis, which they've already accomplished, but also to give him the best chances possible of leading that franchise to another championship. When it comes to Doc, I think that it's no coincidence the timing of this move, right? Where they now have, moving forward, the most difficult schedule in the league, at least if you put stock in strength of schedule. Jason Tatum seems to question it. He said recently, I don't know when our schedule is going to start to get easy, but people keep saying it to clean it up there. But when it comes to the Bucks, that's at least what's on paper for them moving forward. Adrian Griffin had lost the locker room. I don't know if you guys or any of the audience saw them dancing around before the game last night, but it's pretty clear the vibes have changed for the better in Milwaukee. So Griffin had to go for a number of reasons. He wasn't going to fix a defense with the personnel they have. I don't know if Rivers will either. I think some people question or even laugh at his comments on the Bill Simmons podcast about, hey, better offense can help them defensively. I think that's true. If they're running more pick and rolls and they're more efficient at that end, it at least on paper and practically should help their transition defense. And that can put you more positive momentum towards getting more consistent stops, getting out and running and controlling the terms of play. So do I worry about Doc Rivers closing out a playoff series, especially against a team like the Celtics? Of course, from a Bucks perspective, you're aware of his recent track record. At the same time, how much better were you really going to do? It's about the midway point in the season, a little past it. So I don't think there was some great alternative.
I'm going to say what I said to Jack yesterday. I'm sick of having to trash Doc. I like Doc. He won a title here. Please stop coaching rival teams, because we have to do that. You can't close out a playoff series. Fans, please don't worry that they got this guy. But also, Milwaukee fired their coach midseason. If you're trashing the Doc hire, who else are they going to get? Who's out there waiting to coach a team that you could just throw in there and be like, all right, it's January, figure it out. We have championship aspirations. If you don't figure it out, we're going to be angry. You can't throw a rookie head coach in there, I don't think, and expect it to go well. At least Doc has been around the block a few times, and he knows how to deal with players. He's been in the locker room of a championship team. He's coached them, etc. I do get a kick out of the Adrian Griffin thing, though, because they clearly did not like him. All of the stuff started to kind of pop up over the last couple of days, like Giannis subbing himself in and out of games, waving off play calls. You mentioned the Bill Simmons podcast with Doc just on there trashing them a couple weeks ago. for us to find out that he's the consultant working with Adrian Griffin. He's just on the pod trashing his own team.
It's a Machiavellian move from Rivers.
It was just a fantastic revelation. I'll root for Doc until they play the Celtics. I still like Doc. I don't like that he has a bad rep. He deserves it. He's earned it. They've choked. We've seen it, but seems like a decent guy.
Fair point, though. How many times in those series that they blew the lead was his team the favorite? Rarely. Most of the time, not
last
the case.
year. Celtics were not the favorites against Miami in 2012. I don't really know about the Clippers teams, but
I feel like the Clippers teams is the biggest.
Yeah.
You probably should have won some of these games.
And the Philly one against the
those guys
Hawks,
don't
where
like
Ben
each
Simmons
other.
didn't take the layup.
Oh,
Was that Doc? Was that Doc already?
Oh.
I thought that was Brett still.
that was Doc's
That was Doc,
first year.
because then he even trashed Ben Simmons in the post game.
Yeah.
Went out there. It was like, this guy's a bum. I don't know if he's a point guard. I don't know if we can start him. Then Ben Simmons like, I don't want to be around anymore.
He completely lost his love of basketball.
Yeah,
love
let's
of basketball.
let's take a look at the Clippers.
What if Doc breaks
Curious.
Giannis like he broke Ben Simmons? Just Giannis is like, I don't want to play basketball anymore.
So, lost to the Thunder his first year with LA. That's, I mean, fair enough. Lost to the Rockets in 2015. Probably wish he's that one.
That was a bad one.
That's the one, right, where
Yeah.
they blew it, and they had already, like, Houston had taken James Harden out of the game, and then they just completely
They let
collapsed
Josh
the Clippers.
Smith and Corey
Yeah.
Brewer mount a massive
Just torched
comeback
them.
in their own building in a
Yeah,
close.
they were up 3-1 in that series, and then they blew it. Yeah, bad.
Now, I heard Kevin O'Connor mention like the blown leads really do speak to his lack of making adjustments, which when you play a team like the Celtics could really hurt you because they can attack you so many different ways. What if you just decide you want to go away from player X one game because player Y is hot? Like, are they going to have a great time adjusting to that? Maybe not. Maybe it's something that comes up as a major.
They lost to the Gordon Hayward George Hill Jazz in 2017 first round.
Oh, I remember how mad I was because I wanted Hayward to leave.
Yeah,
And I was like, well, if they're winning playoff series, like that cements maybe he doesn't want to leave. Maybe he's like, oh, we're building something. But,
yeah, probably not great if Joe Johnson and Rodney Hood are on the team, leading them in the team that you lose to. Then they lost in the first round of the Warriors in 2019, and then they lost to the Nuggets in the bubble. Just not very good playoff history.
Nuggets one was bad. That was
They
3-1.
were up 3-1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was ugly.
tough look for Doc. But anyways,
Well, if I could just make one more point on the Bucks situation, it's just it looks even worse now than it did in real time that Giannis, at least reportedly, didn't want Nick Nurse. That was such a huge whiff on the organization's part not to bring him in. I know they didn't have Lillard at the moment, so you can't say especially with the defensive side, but that was the ideal hire for them, and they passed on it seemingly at his direction. And on top of it, I don't get why, especially if you buy into what they're trying to sell, which is we were preparing for the very real possibility we were about to enter a transition phase with an aging core and uncertainty about Giannis's future here, why they wouldn't then just promote Charles Lee, who's absolutely ready to be a head coach, one of the best assistants in basketball, and someone who I think at a minimum, it would have gone much smoother than it did with Adrian Griffin.
100%.
We also had to chat about, like, what if they decide they want to bring back Charles Lee or Sam Cassell's ready? And I'm like, well, if I'm Brad Stevens, I say, absolutely not. Nope, can't have them. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers, verbatim.
Celtics had the small staff and losing guys in season last season. They
Yeah.
no interest in doing it again.
I will say this is going to be an all-time funniest moments if this hire fails and the Bucks like lose in the first or second round again, and then they have yet another long-term coaching contract that they are just going to have to eat, because Adrian Griffin is a multi-year contract. Like Bobby said, they're still paying Bud. Now Doc's on board, and I think Doc will probably be at the very least more experienced than Adrian Griffin. This is far from the ideal situation for the Bucks to be
No,
in.
it's definitely
right
not
now.
ideal.
It's a mess. But anyways,
Too bad coaching contracts don't count towards the salary cap. Because, like,
They couldn't have got
not
Doc.
my money. Like, I don't care if the owner has to pay 10 coaches. Get the right guy. Like, there's no real punishment to that other than you're, like, remembering your mistakes through the money.
tough look for the Bucks. All right. Team USA, should we talk about that? Is that next on the docket? So the Celtics have 4 candidates in the initial pool of 41 players for Team USA. Let me read the list. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to read the list.
Slowly, one by one, give us a little bio on them.
So Shams tweeted out the list. Celtics, obviously, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Derek White, all on the list. Do you want to talk about who could potentially make the team, Bobby? So on our pod last night, we did an initial, this is probably what the team is going to be. I think what would be more fun would be if you had to build the ideal basketball team, not superstar, here's superstar, there's this. What is the ideal basketball team you could build out of Team USA? I feel like that would be a fun activity to do because we were talking about it and we can discuss this first. I feel like there is an importance level to getting role players on the team because you saw with in the FIBA World Cup this past summer where Team USA flopped, it was a lot of guys who aren't used to being role players. And so they didn't necessarily have as easy of a time sort of taking that back seat and then just, winning. You know what I'm saying? Like they had trouble with winning, basically.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Bobby? What's the level of, getting all the superstars everybody wants to perform versus Grant Hill, who is going to make the team, just making a good basketball team?
So I think we should do the exercise when it comes to what Grant Hill will do. I would anticipate it's just all the best players get those 12 spots and trust them to figure it out. Look, the world, I think everyone's aware of how talented so many of these countries are now. I know that Argentina, their golden era has aged out, but still there's such high-end competition to be dealing with that if it doesn't work, they might just get got. But I firmly expect them to figure it out and win the gold medal and, quite frankly, look pretty convincing while doing so.
Mm-hmm. So for what it's worth, this was the team we made that we were like, okay, it'll probably be this. This is the end result that we came up with.
And
This
here's
is all
why.
starting? No way.
No, not starting.
Okay.
This is the
So
starting
he's gonna
lineup.
be, and here's why.
I didn't
He's
know if this was
team.
your starters and then Sam's starters or other way around.
No.
Oh no, this is the LeBron. He's gonna show up and play. Everybody clap, and he's gonna pick his buddies. So Chris Paul will definitely be on the team. He wouldn't be. I told Jack, I said he's not gonna be in the pool if he's not gonna be on this team with LeBron. Banana boat guy, only active banana boat besides LeBron. He's gonna be there.
Yeah, the last remaining banana boat member will get on.
Yep. So this is what we got. Like I said, we already did this in the pod. Some notable names that got cut off. No Paul George, which he could probably get it over Anthony Edwards, maybe. But we'll see. I think it would be more fun to build the best possible basketball team. And so we can run through that quick if we'd like to, because I do think like I said, I think there's value to it. I don't think it's smart to have all these guys. Let me rephrase. I'm gonna be different at the Olympics because I think they know we just got smoked in the World Cup. We're mad. We want to make sure everyone still knows that the big brother is still the big brother. Don't step. And so I think they'll be fine. And like you said, there's talent roll through everybody. But I think it's slowly getting to the point where you might just have to build a team that works like a team. So with that in mind, Bobby, what would your starting lineup of team that works like a team be from this pool of players that Shams tweeted out?
So I think that the stars will be able to function alongside each other. So I look at it and say, LeBron, Steph, KD, Embiid, I have no concerns there. I think that they'll work just fine.
I agree.
And then when it comes to who else to put in the starting lineup, I would say Jason Tatum. But then again, I would I think Tatum with his style defensively and how well he does against guards, I think he fits that spot. Now, it's a tremendous amount of size, and it's interesting in terms of that group's not running the floor. But LeBron doesn't want to anyways, and they'll score at will in the half court while consistently getting stops. So I think I'm just fine with that as a starting unit.
I think this is where we started yesterday too, and Sam laughs because we just picked the same starting lineup that we picked yesterday. But I think the point of it is,
but you went like the same process.
Yeah. And I think the reason is all these guys are comfortable playing without the ball, regardless of them being a star. Like Steph Curry can play off the ball. Kevin Durant has played off the ball. LeBron will obviously be on the ball, but like Tatum can play off the ball, and Embiid works best when he's in the post with the guys feeding him. So I do think this is, if I had to bet, this is probably what the starting lineup ends up being. The only potential change I could see is maybe they put Book in there over Tatum, but I don't know about that. But that said, I think the bench and the reserves is where you get to. Maybe you get some guys who can play along with them. That said, I do think Book would still probably fit fine because he can play off the ball and score. And any qualms there, we find putting Devin Booker here back here.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I think he's good. What else, Bobby?
Anthony Davis off the bench. Anthony Edwards as well. Paul George. I think Paul George makes it.
Okay. Oh, that's the wrong tab. I put it in the small one. Here we go. Anthony Edwards here. Paul George here. What else you got? You have 3 spots left for a lot of players.
So he's not the most well-connected superstar, but I still think Kawhi Leonard earns a spot.
Okay.
We came to the conclusion it was like I don't think he's gonna want to play.
Yeah, we came to the
That's
conclusion.
very
I'm not
possible.
sure how much he'll play. Yeah, but I do think if he wants in, he'll be it. He'll be in.
Right.
So
Bam
fair.
Adebayo, I think he's definitely going to get on.
Last spot, one left. Who gets it? JaVale McGee-esque or
Obvious,
name or we?
for the vibes, JaVale.
Well, he was on the team, last Olympics team. That's why I said it.
It was a wild roster.
I want Iguodala.
You know who I'm confident will not get it? James Harden.
Okay, I like that. So you have one spot left. Fill out your roster, Bobby. This is the Bobby roster.
I think it's okay. So I'm still trying to have some accuracy here because I think this is going to be political, and so I would love to see Tyrese Halliburton, but ultimately I think it's going to be Damian Lillard. I guess ultimately we have to go with Chris Paul.
Okay.
Political, you have to go Chris Paul.
Yeah. Cornered myself.
He would just not be on that list if LeBron was like
facts.
Wasn't like.
I mean, I would love to put Halliburton on, and he's more deserving, but I don't think it's going to happen.
You know, we did the same exact thing. We had Halliburton, then we realized, wait, LeBron will probably want Kyrie on the team, so Kyrie will probably make the team, and we took Halliburton off for Kyrie.
Depends on if Kyrie ends up on the Lakers this season.
That's true. That's true. You didn't factor that in.
The verdict remains the same. I will be rooting against them.
Sam says he's rooting against Team USA this summer.
I always kind of root against them. It's just like boring. They're always stacked. It's just like they're so stacked that they don't even send their guys and they're expected to win.
So were you rooting for him when it was Marcus Smart and Kemba?
Well, that's different. That's the Celtics.
So we only think one Celtic makes it. That's what we think.
Yeah, ultimately
Probably.
I do.
I'm curious because
I'm never going to play Olympics again. Everybody talk about me. I'm bringing all my buddies.
I'm curious because there was that reporting before the season even started that, they reached out to Drew Holiday, and Drew Holiday told us, he was like, yeah, I had no clue what you're talking
You
about.
think that he lied to us? I mean, he's a good poker player.
I think he lied. Yeah, I think they said something. And I think, I don't know, I have a sneaky suspicion he could get on because people around the league really like him and respect him as a defender. And if you want somebody who can play off the ball.
Gold medal
run. I also think for what it's worth, I think Jalen might get shafted because there's too many on-ball creators. I think Derek White could have a sneaky shot. If you're looking for a role player that can do it, people know he's a winner. Like, people around the league now know that, they look at Derek White and they're like, yeah, that guy wins. That's just what he does.
He'll be coming off a second straight all defensive team selection.
Yep.
It's true.
Yeah. I think there's something to it. Anyways, any last talking points, Bob, before we get to trivia?
I think it's time for trivia.
Alrighty. So let me find a Celtics one for you. What is the series at right now?
Well, this is important because it's either 2-0 me in this second 7-game series, or we're not counting the first of the doubleheader we just did, and it's 1-0. Remember, we played 2 games last time, and the first went quick.
It's up to you.
I think it's up to you as the moderator.
Yeah, Jack's like the only. Imagine being an NBA ref, and you're like, "Well, it's up to you." Did it go off?
What did you see?
Sam, this is trivia. We're on a YouTube channel doing trivia. This isn't the end-all, be-all. I was letting y'all have an opinion. Fine, 3-0 then. I'm the moderator then, right? I decide. Bobby wins the series. 2-0.
Jack,
okay,
you are invited to the parade, of course.
Loser. All right, y'all ready?
Yes.
Through 2021, 10 Celtics have been named to the NBA All-Rookie First Team. Please name those 10 players. Bobby won last time, so Bobby will go first.
To the All-NBA Rookie First Team?
Yes, 10 players. What do we got?
Paul Pierce.
What if I was just like, no? Yes, Paul Pierce on the list.
Close the laptop and walk away.
Sam?
Tatum.
Yes. All right. Getting the easy ones out the way. Bobby,
Yes,
back
we
to
are.
you.
Larry Bird.
Yes, sir. Sam. The 3 easy ones are, in fact, gone.
McHale on there?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
We're
They
still
shouldn't have voted
cooking.
for
We're
him
still
just for this
cooking.
trivia. So there's
When-
no.
Jack, is there a like date that this ranges like from? Did they invent these teams at some certain
Exactly. That was going to be my question.
Let me see. NBA All-Rookie first team history. I can just Google when the first team was. The first
Sam and I have 2
All-Rookie
guesses ready to go depending on this answer.
The first All-Rookie first team was 62-63.
Okay.
That's tough.
So that probably cuts out Bill Russell. Correct? Is that what you guys were?
We were thinking. We were definitely both thinking Russell.
We were
and
just like
Heinsohn.
thinking how far back should we go?
Yeah, no. So go back to 62.
Thank
63. So whose turn is it? I believe it's Bobby's
Bobby.
turn. Yes.
There's definitely someone from the Celtics who made it.
They have to
that
be a
first
Celtic,
year.
correct?
Yeah, these are Celtics.
Okay.
What else would we be doing?
No, like they had to have been like somebody that was a rookie as a Celtic, not like Kevin Garnett.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
on the Celtics. They made it on the Celtics.
So I don't know what year some of those guys started to arrive, but I think it was 50s. So I want to stay away from some of the dynasty guys, which leads me in the direction. I'm going to go with John Havlicek.
He was on the first ever All-Rookie first team.
That's
Correct.
huge.
I'm so bummed.
Yeah, big time.
That's so sad. So
To you, Sam.
sad. That doesn't count. Oh man, this is a
What doesn't count? Walk us through your thought process.
I'm not walking you through. I'm not gonna like say guys. I'm not gonna like give.
Yeah, the
like,
ops are right here, Jack.
why don't I just like go through and be like, oh yeah, I was thinking this guy and wait for you to like react.
So there is a typo on the card. I have figured out who the player actually is, but I was very confused for a second.
Is there only
Dave
one name
Cowens
left?
One of them.
It is Dave Cowens. However, the card says Dave Collins, and I was like, who the hell is Dave Collins?
Okay.
But Dave Cowens is the correct answer. I have looked it up and confirmed that it's supposed to be Dave Cowens. So Dave Cowens, correct, yes.
How many total are there?
10. So you guys
10.
have 4 left, which means we could have to go to a tiebreaker, unfortunately. All right. I'm getting the tiebreaker card ready just in case. Let's see. I'll start giving clues after this round. Picked a tough one. I'm glad.
Yeah, this is a
Glad
good
we got a
one.
little tricky one.
Or it's either like the easiest or it's impossible.
That's yeah, that's the trend.
I will say this: the time for clues is probably now because
Okay,
it's
let's rock.
after because Sam wraps up a round. In this case,
Yeah,
at least.
you can do clues.
Okay, so it's. I'm trying to. I was gonna give bulk clues, but there's no really clues that I can give in bulk for these guys. I'm checking to make sure. One of these guys is a Hall of Famer.
One is a Hall of Famer.
One was a. Or do you want me to stop there, or we give it? Do you want me to give a clue for each one?
Can you just like give like the decades?
Sure. Yeah. So one of them, 70s.
Okay.
One of them, early 2000s.
Oh,
One of
I know the answer. All right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
JoJo White.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
I'm so upset. I thought he was ranked on the early 2000s one. I was like, okay, that.
Yeah. One was early. Nine. Do you want me to when they played or when they won? Because it was 90s to early 2000s is when he played. But,
So Antoine Walker.
yeah. So you know, what I'm saying like the decade's kind of given away because you know exactly the year they were a rookie, which is
You
why I
could've
wasn't
been,
giving
like-
away.
No, like you shouldn't. I don't know. I can't give you a better way.
Yeah, what do you want me to say? You asked for the
can't
decade.
ask for the decades and then be mad you got the decades.
No, I don't know. You should just.
What the hell?
I was thinking it.
You're thinking what? You weren't thinking.
Okay, there's more. Keep giving the decades.
Okay.
That's wild.
This is insane. I'm getting roasted for making it too easy, and he
The
doubles
deck is rigged
down.
against Jack right
That's
now.
nuts. All right. Next decade, late 90s. Next one. Where's the last one on this list? Oh, both in the 90s.
Both in the 90s. Catastrophe.
It is Bobby's turn.
This is so tough because Patino traded guys so quickly. So, like, I have names in mind, but I don't know who stuck it out. Does it matter if they finish their rookie season with the Celtics?
Both played 80-plus games with the Celtics their rookie
Okay,
season.
so they earned it.
Okay.
I'm not sure that he did, but I will go with Joe Johnson.
No Joe Johnson.
I'm gonna guess Rick Fox.
No
That's
Rick
a great-
Fox.
That's a great guess, though. I don't care. I will go Ron Mercer.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Mercer, correct.
I was gonna guess Ron Mercer. I'm so upset with myself.
I thought you were about to go with him instead of Rick Fox and was ready to put my head down on the table.
All right, one name left.
D Brown.
Yes. Good guess.
Wow.
I had them both, and I used the one that was wrong.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know
That
what
was
we
good.
do with this.
Don't worry. I have a backup card with only 9, so I should have picked that first, but we're gonna have to get through all the cards anyway. So this will be a tiebreaker card. Okay. We can speed run through this because I feel like some of these answers could be easy. Through the 2021-22 season, 9 different Celtics have scored 20 points and grabbed 20 rebounds in the same game more than once. So these are players that have had 20 games multiple times, which means no Rob, if that's who you're thinking of.
No, it's not what I was thinking of.
Okay,
Who were
I
you
lost the
thinking of?
connection for a second.
I
So
still-
just give me the question one more time.
Yes, these are through the 21-22 season. 9 different Celtics have had 20 games with points and rebounds in this more than once. So they've had more than one 20 game.
Okay.
So that is the question. 9 of them.
We ready to
What
go?
do we got? Yeah. I think Bobby still starts because Bobby's still the reigning champ. So
It's through the 2021 season, as in 2020, 2021.
21-22.
Okay.
So through the
Jaylen Brown.
finals. This is 20 points, 20 rebounds in the same game.
Nice.
Just to clarify the questions, I feel like we're gonna re-clarify. 20 point, 20 rebound games, more than one of those. They've
Kevin
had more than
McHale.
one. No,
Oh, damn.
has not had 2.
Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Smart guess.
Yes, correct. Bill Russell on here. Back to you, Bobby. Got to play catch up now.
Yeah, behind the 8 ball all of a sudden. Tom Heinsohn.
Yes, correct. Back on the board.
That's big.
I spelled Heinz. wrong.
I wasn't going to say anything.
No, yeah. That wasn't even like I didn't know how to spell it. That was just press the wrong button.
You've typed it in enough times and
I know.
your question.
Sam?
Robert Parrish.
Yes, on the list.
Hesitated.
Bobby, back
Said
to
he
you.
had a cardiac arrest.
Oh, I've got to check the card. He was on the bottom. I didn't see him. Back to you, Bobby.
Dave Cowens.
Correct, and it's spelled right this time.
Shout out Dave Collins.
KG.
Doesn't exist, by the way. No KG.
No KG.
Oh,
Terrible.
tough. Bobby, chance to take the lead again. Let's see. What do we think, Bobby? I see the gears turning.
So there's so many options. There's none I'm obviously willing to smash the button on, but
Mhm.
we'll go to the well one more time. John Havlicek.
No Havlicek. No, did not get the rebound. I don't believe.
Dino Rajda.
No,
If that's on, then you looked.
no.
No, I didn't look.
It's on you to look.
That would be unbelievable. All right. Antoine Walker.
No, man.
No.
That's
Antoine.
wrong. I was about to be so
Antoine.
mad.
After Sam goes, I'll start giving some clues.
All right, ready? This is the one that I thought of at the beginning, and I wasn't sure after you said multiple times.
Mm.
Enes Kanter.
No one is free
Ah.
on the list.
I would have been furious.
All right. First clue. Hall of Famer.
I don't know if you're allowed to answer this. Sam might have to decide. But has someone guessed Paul Pierce already?
We haven't guessed him.
No one's guessed Paul Pierce. No.
Yeah, I'll go Paul Pierce.
No Pierce. Sorry. Sam?
Hall of Famer. Satch Sanders?
Yeah, he's on the list.
I considered him earlier too.
All right. Do we want another clue?
I'll let Sam decide.
Go ahead.
Hall of Famer. That is the clue. I'm doubling down.
All right, mute yourself.
It's tough because
Got the Jeopardy music.
I do need the Jeopardy music right now.
I'm gonna push you for an answer here. What are we thinking? Anything going?
Well, I have some names in mind, but it's a very fragile situation over here if you get one wrong. And Sam looks like he's got an answer ready to rise and fire with.
I have the answer.
Oh, that's devastating. I will go. I'll go Sam Jones.
No Sam Jones.
Larry Bird next.
Yeah.
Oh,
Larry
how did
Bird.
we skip him?
Yeah, that was that. I was like, you said Satch Sanders. I'm like, not exactly what I meant, but I was like, come on, guys. All right, we'll do a clue round at this point because we're getting down to it. And that's what we've been doing for the past 2 rounds. Let's see, who is the next clue? I believe. I'm trying to think of like the best clues I could give for these guys. One of these guys, multi-time All-Star. And then how many are left? How many have we guessed so far? 6. So yeah, okay. One is a multi-time All-Star. One, I don't know if you'll get. Actually, no, multi-time All-Star as well, but less obvious.
Okay.
And then last one, clue. Last one, Hall of Famer, but old. So there's your clues.
So
yeah.
We've got 2 multi-time All-Stars and a Hall of Famer.
I'm hope this clue isn't going to give anything away. It is nuts that the league high field goal percentage once was 48.6. That's insanity, right? Like that's psychotic. That was once the league high field goal percentage in the NBA. That's insane.
That's pretty crazy.
So that could be a clue if you'd like it to be. But yeah. So Bobby, back to you.
I wish it wasn't.
I'm not gonna do it now, but I have a pretty obvious clue to give one of these away. The other 2 are tough ones. So
I don't know if he ever made All-Star games, but he was a phenomenal rebounder. So I'll go with Paul Silas.
Yes.
Let's go.
Big. Back in the game. Sam, to you. He was 2-time All-Star, by the way. That was an All-Star.
I'm gonna guess Don Nelson.
No Don Nelson.
Good
No
guess.
Don Nelson. We do have a 4-time All-Star and a 7-time All-Star left. So that's what we got cooking up here.
I think I know one of them, but I'm afraid that I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've got 2 names in mind. One I don't think did. The other one might have.
Also, for what it's worth, one of the 4-time All-Star never made it with the Celtics. He was never a Celtics All-Star. But
You're really pushing me in the direction to make this guess.
Longer.
I really don't want to make it. Okay.
Yes. Let's see.
I'm going to throw this up.
Oh, this would be electric.
Might get laughed out the chat. Rasheed Wallace.
Not Rasheed Wallace. I respect it though. That is a sick guess. Sick guess.
Bob McAdoo.
No Bob McAdoo.
Clever though.
Rasheed Wallace started, or not technically, but spent the majority of the start of his career with the same team that one of these guys made the All-Star teams with.
Stop talking.
Yeah.
I'm giving a clue every round, brother.
No, that is true. I might not get this. Even if I do, it's watered down
I
now.
figured it out
talking.
before. After I guessed, I was like, okay, what else?
That's
And
not
then-
my fault. Be better. Next time you chirp me, I'm just gonna remove you from the stream because you're just getting mad that you're getting it wrong.
Don't assume that I have the answer here because I'm not confident in the guess.
I hate that the clues don't come before I go.
That's how turns
By
work.
getting a
Only
wrong
tiled.
answer, I'm
But
like
it's a
guaranteed
round
that I'm
thing.
screwed.
That's
I
the
know
thing.
it is.
All right, and also, this is probably wrong. So,
Hit it.
well, now I've got to hit the pause button on it.
Oh. We got cooking. The gears are back.
It's such a bad guess. That's the thing. But when I think of those Jailblazers teams, this is the guy who I think.
is all time.
Why not? Because Sam is so heated right now. I will go with Jermaine O'Neal.
Mm-mm.
I didn't think so.
No Jermaine
There you
O'Neal.
go, Sam.
No, you're also wrong. So why don't you stop being an angry little elf and just quit complaining about everything? Loser. All right, next clue. Bum, not Bill Walton, no. Let's see. One of these guys, I believe one of these guys did win a title with the Celtics. Trying to dumb down the clues so I don't get yelled off the screen again. So, I'm
thought
glad
Sam had an answer locked and loaded.
he did. He said Bill Walton, and he got it
Oh,
wrong.
it's my
your
turn right now?
Yeah, that's why he yelled at it because he was so mad at me for no
That's
reason.
my apologies. I was sitting there waiting for Sam to guess. I apologize to the group.
Yeah, no, it's all you.
All right, won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Do you say won a championship with the Celtics?
One of these guys won a championship with the Celtics. No, sorry, wrong. He won a championship, but not with Celtics.
Okay.
My bad. I assumed. I made an assumption wrong based on the fact that the Celtics won 1 million titles, and I should assume that he would have won his with Boston. But no, funnily enough, he did not. We got cooking up here. I'm glad this isn't an audio platform because I don't have to filibuster completely.
Yeah, I apologize to the viewing.
No, you're good. You know what? I wonder if I. Oh, I thought I had Jeopardy music. I guess I don't.
I'm just glad you're talking right now because
Do I have it here? Oh yeah, ready?
It's tough to come up with an answer.
I don't know if I can hear Jack now. Had the music track.
There it is.
There.
All right,
We've
Bob,
done it
is your
before,
turn.
so I'm going to pass on the turn.
All right.
No names.
Sam?
4-time All-Star, 7-time All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
20 games multiple times. It's going to be like one of these like ancient guys. And I hate that. I have no idea.
I have a
All right.
guess. Hold on.
I'm going to end up losing. And
I think someone. Oh, but why not? Artist Gilmore?
that's
No, not Artis Gilmore. All right, Sam, after your guess, unless you pass, then I'll give another clue.
did not win a title. Thought that they would have. I don't know. I'll pass.
All right, clue time. I'll give you decades. One was the 50s. One was played in the 70s and early 80s, or mostly the 70s.
Ed Luskatov.
Who? Ed who?
Luskatov.
How do you spell that last name?
Luscato.
He's not even a basketball reference, so I don't
I'm going to
think
guess
that-
FF.
What is FF? Both wrong. Wrong. Sam?
Pulling them up.
70s, early 80s.
Mostly 70s. He like dripped into the 80s, this guy.
Jim Luskatov. I apologize.
Oh, okay. Oh, still wrong, but
I don't know. We may just have to end it.
7-time NBA champion, Jim.
If you
Westbrook,
pass,
by
I
the
can
way.
give like definitively you'll probably get it clues, but
Go ahead.
this guy was an All-Star Game MVP. Is that something that gives it away based on past trivia or knowledge of the 50s? One of these guys I didn't expect you to get, but I know this name, so you guys should probably know this name. Is the other guy? 7-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA, won a title in '58, not with the Celtics, but with the St. Louis Hawks. He won a title with. If we want to just pass and say Sam won 5-3, I can give you the answers. Do we want to concede Sam? All right, it's up to Bobby. I'm gonna have to wait for Bobby. If Bobby wants a final guess, and then we can get there, because at some point the clues are gonna be too obvious, where it's like.
So I'm so confident that he didn't win a title with the Hawks, but this guy did go elsewhere and win a championship with the Lakers. So why not, before waving the white flag, Bill Sharman?
Not Bill Sharman. Okay, Ed McCauley. So you said
that's
Ed.
who I was trying to think of with Jim
I
Westbrook.
thought he won a title.
He won a title with the Hawks, not with the Celtics, which is why I was confused.
And they retired his number? Celtics retired 22 for him?
Apparently.
Wow. All right.
He made 6 of the 7 All-Star games with the Celtics. And then the other one, Sidney Wicks, what was the other name? Was an All-Star with the Blazers 4 times. Then he came to Boston. There you go. Okay. That's going to be one for Sam, though.
So for the record, Sam, when I know we should probably be trying to, still like bring you back down, but when you got upset about the Blazers thing, he said that this person teamed with Rasheed Wallace. You thought it was Bill Walton?
No.
No, he said he was on the same organization.
Yeah.
I thought
he made his All-Star teams.
That's why I guessed Jermaine O'Neal. I thought
my
you said
bad.
He teamed with. No, that's on me. I thought you said he teamed with him.
I meant he
basically
like,
only other like notable big guy I can think of that came from Portland was Bill Walton. And I'm like, that's like the most easy giveaway.
Yeah, no. Then you yelled at me, even though you were wrong. Bum. All right, Bobby. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Well, still hold the lead in the series, so
2-1.
That's what we're gonna go in, watch the film, see where we need to improve, and study up for next time.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to Habits from Celtics. Check out Bobby's work at Inside the Celtics, si.com/Celtics. And yeah, I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Yeah, so if you made it here, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any uploads like this one, or the full pods, or the game recaps, or the film breakdowns, or rumor breakdowns, or the half-hour pregame streams. Those are awesome. They're a lot of fun. Come hang out. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. Follow us there for the full-length pods and game recaps. You can follow Bobby on Twitter at Bobby Kravitsky. You can find him writing Inside the Celtics for SI Media. He's put in the work. He's on the beat. He's down in Miami for tonight's game, so he's got you covered. You can also reach out to us via email, hbtcpod@gmail.com. If you do so, we'll read your emails on the pod. We love hearing from you. You can follow us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook is just the name of the pod. The pregame streams are there and on YouTube and on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at JacksMoneyNBA. Mine's the same with friends. I believe it's for us. Bye.